Many governments and activists around the world are condemning the jail sentences imposed on 3 Al Jazeera journalists by an Egyptian court. The trio were convicted of spreading false news and conspiring with the outlawed Muslim Brotherhood. Peter Gresta and Mohammed Fahmy received 7-year sentences. Bahar Mohammed got 10 years. 11 more defendants not present in court were sentenced to 10 years. Amnesty International says the verdicts are, quote, an absolute affront to justice. AFP reports the Netherlands summoned the Egyptian ambassador after a Dutch national was found guilty despite being absent from the trial. Britain's foreign minister, William Hague, says he is appalled by the verdicts and will summon the Egyptian ambassador in protest. Australia had lobbied Cairo on behalf of Al Jazeera correspondent Peter Gresta. Foreign Minister Julie Bishop reacted with disbelief to his 7-year sentence.
This is a very complicated case. It's a very complex situation. And it's
Well, the Qatar-based Al Jazeera network has released a statement on the verdict saying they defy logic, sense and any semblance of justice. For more on this, let's go straight to Cairo now and Ian Lee. Ian, what happens next now in this case?
Well, Monita, once the shock kind of subsides, there's going to be an appeal process.
Ian, thank you for that. Ian Lee reporting to us there live from Cairo. America's top diplomat is in Baghdad as Islamist militants from the group ISIS advance closer and closer to the Iraqi capital. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is meeting Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki. He's also holding talks with Sunni and Shiite leaders. Kerry is urging them to rise above religious and ethnic divisions as more Iraqi territory continues to fall to ISIS by the day. ISIS fighters are, as we say, marching toward Baghdad from the north and the west, and you can see here in red the cities that have already fallen to them. They include Al-Qaim in Anbar province in western Iraq. Officials say the militants now control at least 70% of it, and with Al-Qaim in their hands, they now have a direct line from Syria to Baghdad's western outskirts. But Iraq's military says it made a strategic withdrawal in some areas and has not lost as much territory as some believe. CNN's senior international correspondent Arwa Damon joins us now from Erbil in northern Iraq with more on that. Arwa?
Hi, and one of those areas where the Iraqi military most certainly did not make a strategic withdrawal is in northern Iraq.
Yeah, good point there, Arwa. Thank you so much for that. Arwa Damon there live for us from Erbil in northern Iraq. You are watching News Stream. About a month ago, so there was a dramatic finish to Sunday's World Cup action that kept a European power in the tournament. The U.S. came from behind to lead 2-1 against Portugal with this goal, 86. So lots of unexpected twists so far, and we're just halfway through the tournament. Let's go straight now to Brazil, and CNN's Amanda Davis joins us now from Rio de Janeiro. Amanda, I think even if you weren't a football fan, you would start to be simply because of the drama on the pitch.
Absolutely, Monita. It has been
all right, Amanda. Thank you very much for that. Amanda Davis there live for us from Rio. So we had your football action. We've got some tennis as well. Still to come here on Newsstream. Queuing for Wimbledon. The All England Club's annual tennis tournament gets underway in London. Stay with us for that. More now on U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry's high-stakes mission to Iraq. He is urging the country's leaders to unite for the safety of their country as Islamist militants edge nearer to the Iraqi capital. Chief U.S. security correspondent Jim Sciutto joins us now from Baghdad with this very tough mission ahead of him. Jim?
No question, Monita. You can feel the heat here literally and figuratively. It's more than 100 degrees and it still hasn't been answered, frankly, and will only be answered over time.
Indeed. Jim, thank you so much. Jim Sciutto there live for us from Baghdad. Well, fighting in Iraq and Syria is proving fertile ground for would-be jihadists as countries across Europe watch a growing number travel there to take up the cause. The fear is that they could return home radicalized and bring the war with them. In a 3-part series, CNN's Atika Schubert looks at the rise of these Western jihadists. She begins by speaking with one already in Syria about the discontent he felt back home. Now, if you are a pet owner or a dog lover in particular, you might want to step away for a moment. Over the weekend, the city of Yulin in southeast China celebrated its annual dog meat festival. Residents say the tradition dates back generations, but each year there is more opposition. Anna Corin has this report, and we do warn you, some of the images are disturbing.
Early morning on the outskirts of Yulin in southern China, a deal is underway.
An unofficial referendum for democratic reforms is underway here in Hong Kong, but China calls the move a farce. The week-long vote is organized by the lobbying group Occupy Central. The crux of the issue at hand is how Hong Kong will choose its next leader in 2017. Although China's State Council and Hong Kong authorities have called this referendum illegal and invalid, more than 700,000 people already voted over the weekend. That's almost 20% of the city's registered voters. Coming up here on Newsstream, it wouldn't be summer in England without Wimbledon. Keen tennis fans queue to watch the first day. One of the biggest sporting competitions of the year is underway in London. The 128th Wimbledon Lawn Tennis Championships has defending men's champion Andy Murray opening the tournament on centre court. Reigning women's champion Mariam Bartoli won't defend her title as she retired from tennis last August. Play is currently underway. Let's take you live now to Christina McFarlane for the very latest there. Christina?
Yes, Monita, the sun is up here and the fans have been queuing around the block all morning. And as you say, play is underway.
Thank you very much for that. Often causing upset and making for an interesting tournament is the weather. Mari Ramos is at the World Weather Center with a look at that. Mari?
You know that there's only been 4 years where it hasn't rained at all at Wimbledon. Yeah, so you know that it's part of it. It's part of the game in the day for the Croatia-Mexico match in Recife.
So basically you're saying the places to be in the world right now where the two biggest sporting events are taking place, either in Wimbledon or in Brazil, somewhere there.
I wish I was there.
Good to know. I know, you and me both. Mari, thank you very much for that. You are watching Newsstream. Still ahead from the football pitch to an unusual canvas. We are now exactly halfway through the World Cup, and we've gone through 32 of 64 matches, and every team has played exactly twice. Who could believe that Spain could have already been eliminated? The defending champions have won 3 straight international tournaments, but lost 2 straight matches in Brazil, and now have no chance of defending their crown. Now, England's ouster was perhaps less shocking, but still pretty surprising. It is the earliest England have been knocked out of the World Cup for decades. But instead of dwelling on the disappointments, let's celebrate the successes, shall we? Like little Costa Rica, who surprised everyone by advancing from a group containing 3 former World Cup winners, or Algeria, who scored their first World Cup goal almost 30 years against Belgium. And it's been a good World Cup. 4 goals. Varela's late header to save Portugal was the 94th goal of the tournament. This World Cup is averaging almost 3 goals a game, the most since 1958. Who knew? Well, away from the games, Brazil's street artists are giving the World Cup a more artistic flair. Fred Pleitgen shows us how.
Far away from the glamorous World Cup stadiums, the soccer tournament is inspiration.
And I'm Monita Rajpal at CNN Hong Kong. That is Newsstream, but the news continues. World Business Today is next.